Okay guys, after many tries here, I'm just getting super frustrated. Hopefully you have all this done from the initial video. And then we were talking about collinear and coplanar in there as well. Now with coplanar, remember that means together on the same plane. It could be a line, or lines rather, that are on the same plane, or points. So one example of that would be points C, D, and E all lie along this horizontal looking plane right here called P. There aren't really any lines drawn on any of these planes, so we couldn't talk about collinear line or coplanar lines, but you could find some other coplanar points. On the inside, the first thing I want to look at is intersections. We talked about in class, two lines intersect to create a point. It's kind of like Carpenter and Deland intersecting, and we put point A. Planes, when two planes intersect, they always create a line, and we talked about this when we were looking at the note card example. So if we draw this in there, we kind of get line AB that these two planes are intersecting at. Okay. Now going back to lines, lines can be intersecting, and when they do, they intersect at a point. They could also intersect very specifically at a 90-degree angle, and then we call those perpendicular lines. And we draw the little upside down T to shorten perpendicular. Lines could never cross at all. And so in that case, they're called parallel. And we draw them like this, and we shorten parallel with two little lines like that. Or one final example is kind of the last one that I had you doing with the note card. If you took the two note cards apart and there was one line on one note card and one line on the other, those two lines weren't intersecting, but they weren't necessarily parallel either. And so that's known as skew lines. So they're on different planes and they don't cross. And so it's kind of important for us to know that parallel lines that don't cross have to be on the same plane. Now in terms of planes, they can be parallel as well. They don't cross, kind of like this. And if you think about in terms of like the world or real life, that could be your floor and your ceiling. Hopefully they never cross. That would be bad. Planes can intersect, meaning they do cross, and they do cross at a line. And because I'm not very good at drawing this, I just drew an arrow to that picture right there. Or they could cross very specifically at a perpendicular line, or a perpendicular angle rather, a 90-degree angle. And you could think of that as like your floor and the wall, like up, going up from your floor, because those should probably intersect at a 90. So I know I went through that really quickly, and you're probably going to have to pause to copy, but because I'm running short on video time here, now I just want to show you how we're going to put this in. So in our notebooks, we're going to turn to our table of contents and put page 1 and 2. We're going to call it points, lines, and planes. We're not going to put this in words worth knowing, although these are words worth knowing. We're actually just going to go right to page 1 and 2. Call it points, lines, and planes. And I'm going to put this one right on this page, and I would glue it in or tape it in, whatever you have. And you can even cut down the edges so it fits a little better. Or if you want to cut it really good, you could fit it probably like that. But either way. And then on page 2, I'm going to have it folded like this so you can see the collinear coplanar, and if you want to cut this down as well, that's going to go right on page 2. So I'm sorry this was such a mess. If I ever do this in the future, it will not be I swear. My hover camera at school was being a butt. See you on Monday.